What if I told you that you, me, and everything around us might not actually exist? That we could be living in an elaborate illusion, a dream from which we have yet to wake up? I know it sounds far-fetched, but influential philosophers throughout history have made compelling arguments that we cannot actually prove the external world is real. Today, we'll dive down the rabbit hole of skeptical philosophy and its mind-bending implications about the nature of reality. Our existence feels self-evident. Of course, you are real. You think, you feel, you experience life moment to moment. But can we prove that what we perceive is objectively real and not just a hallucination within our own minds? Surprisingly, this question has no definitive answer. Here's why. The only thing we can be absolutely certain of is our own inner conscious experience. You know your own thoughts, emotions, and sensations. But how do you know for sure that anyone else is real? You assume other people also have a subjective experience of the world, but you have no direct access to their inner lives. As far as you know, everyone around you could be a philosophical zombie, acting human but with no actual consciousness. In fact, it's possible that the entire outside world is an elaborate illusion being fed directly into your mind. You believe you see, hear, and touch external objects, but these sensations could be artificially stimulated, like how people in the Matrix didn't realize their reality was a simulated dream world. Think about dreams. When you're dreaming, people, places, and events can seem totally solid and real in the moment. It's only when you wake up that you realize it was all just imagined. Well, how do you know you aren't in a kind of perpetual dream state right now? There's fundamentally no way to prove that this is not the case. Some philosophers have taken the skepticism even further, questioning whether even your own mind exists. Perhaps there is just a stream of conscious thoughts, sensations, and experiences, but no underlying permanent you having them. This relates to ideas about the illusion of the self, that our notion of a stable identity is just a construct of the mind without concrete reality. If there is no persisting self, then what is it that ties your awareness from one moment to the next? What is it that exists? This calls into question our most basic assumptions about the nature of reality and conscious experience. These philosophical notions may sound absurd, but they are very difficult to conclusively disprove. We rely on our senses and scientific measurements to learn about the world, but who is to say these aren't giving us a very filtered down version of what is really out there? For example, we only see a tiny portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. We only hear certain vibrational frequencies of sound waves. And we know there are forces like gravity, radiation, and dark matter that we can't directly sense at all, but can only infer from their effects. What else could exist that we have no way of perceiving or measuring? Some ideas in modern physics seem to align with these skeptical notions about reality. Take quantum mechanics, for instance, which suggests fundamental particles behave unpredictably and may not even have set properties until they are observed. It reminds one of the age-old thought experiment. If a tree falls in the forest but no one hears it, does it make a sound? According to quantum theory, the answer may be no, at least not until it is consciously observed. Or consider string theory, which proposes extra dimensions beyond the three spatial ones we can access. Could these extra dimensions contain whole other universes operating with completely different laws of physics? And if so, does anything we experience in our universe objectively matter to those realms? Concepts like the holographic principle also suggest the three-dimensional reality we perceive could merely be projections of quantum information encoded on a two-dimensional boundary surface. In other words, our world could be like a hologram, appearing fully real and three-dimensional to us, yet representing a projection of information encoded elsewhere. I'm not saying I necessarily believe any of these radical skeptical philosophies about reality, but I do find them incredibly thought-provoking. They reveal that the true nature of reality could be utterly mysterious and counterintuitive to us. What we perceive as existence here and now seems quite real, but may be no more than a small bubble in the vast cosmic landscape of all that is possible. The fact that we can conceptualize realities other than our consensus physical world implies that human imagination and reason can transcend the limits of our bodies and senses. The precise mathematical patterns that seem to govern the universe around us also raise profound philosophical questions. Even if this is some kind of simulation or illusion, why does it follow such logical rules and give rise to stars, galaxies, planets, and life forms? For what purpose? What exists outside the scope of the simulation? Did some kind of intelligence design this? Or could the fundamental code of reality simply be mathematical in nature? At the end of the day, the distinction between what is real versus illusion could come down to perspective. Even if we are inside some sort of high-resolution VR simulation, does it matter if it's real enough that we cannot tell the difference? Perhaps real is defined not by metaphysical absolutes, but by meaning, understanding, and subjective experience. So while I don't expect to settle the debate over whether you or I actually exist today, I hope I've opened a window onto a profoundly fascinating realm of philosophy. Let me know your perspective on these ideas in the comments. Do you think skeptical notions like this are illuminating or absurd? How do you conceptualize the ultimate nature of reality? Is there anything we can truly know for certain? I'm looking forward to an interesting discussion with all of you. Thanks for watching.